Dave Roberts is now available. Please use the raise your hand icon if you have any questions. First question's from Alana Rizzo. Go ahead, Alana. First question's from Alana Rizzo. Go ahead.
Dave, how would you describe the way your bullpen has pitched collectively?
Really well. I've seen, really, especially in summer camp, the bond that's been created with these guys. And I think that just, when you get out of the gates well, it's kind of the next guy, the next man up wants to put up another zero, and the next guy wants to put up another zero. And when you have guys down, they want to pick each other up. So that confidence, some of the guys that are really unproven are starting to grow. And the guys that have been there, done that, I think they're doing a great job of mentoring some of these young guys.
Is there any part of you, Dave, that feels like this time right now with all the news of the COVID testing, it feels like the rumblings of spring training when that almost came to a halt? How much are you paying attention to what's happening?
We're paying very close attention. This is something that, I think that the big spike with the Marlins situation is something that I don't think anyone hoped for or expected. It's not good for anyone. The St. Louis thing, I think, is something that, you prepare for things to happen. No one is immune to this virus. That's why we have 60 guys, potentially to pull from. We have taxi guys. But I do think that everyone needs to take responsibility for their actions. I really do. And, you're talking about being under the microscope with the CDC, the American population and how we're doing things. And we have to be accountable. And whether it's guys on the bench, in the pen, away from the field, all this stuff matters. And, we've come so far to get to this point, and, for it to be shut down because of people being irresponsible certainly is unacceptable. So I just think basically my point being is that whatever we can do, whatever protocols are implemented, re-implemented, I know the Dodgers player staff, we're all in.
Do you get nervous that the season may end soon?
Well, I mean, you hear the commissioner and putting everyone on notice. And, obviously the commissioner's office, the players union, everyone is, motivated to keep going, the fans as well. But, people's safety and health has to be the most important thing. And it just speaks to, we have to do what we can do to minimize it as much as we can. So hopefully it doesn't get to that, though.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Got a question from Ken Kiernan. Go ahead, Ken.
Dave, have you decided on starters for date for Kershaw?
Yeah, Clayton's going to start on Sunday. And then we're going to
Buehler on Monday?
Okay, yeah.
I have a question from Dave Bassay. Go ahead, Dave.
Starting Kershaw on Sunday, Dave, is the biggest reason to be able to give the rest of your rotation extra days, especially with Thursday being a day off?
That's part of it. That's part of it. And also, Clayton is chomping at the bit to get back and pitching a major league game. So it just makes sense in a lot of different, from every angle.
Thank you.
Yep.
Another question from Jack Harris. Go ahead, Jack.
Dave, how much have the players either been talking amongst themselves with you directly about, the things happening around the league and the uncertainty that's popped back up about the feasibility of the season?
A lot. I just had a conversation with Justin a little bit, before this call, and just kind of floating the idea that, all of our guys should wear a mask, in the dugout when they're not playing, and essentially having that kind of that mask part of that thing go around your neck as part of your equipment. So it's an easy access to put on when you're not on the field of play. Trying to keep the numbers down in the dugout. So we're certainly talking about it, and we've worked hard to get to this point. So it just, again, we just have to do everything we can to minimize the spread.
I know you said that you didn't expect the season to go perfectly with all the protocols and stuff, but is it worrisome that these things have popped up so soon into the year?
Not necessarily. I think there's two separate. The Marlins thing, I think, is a separate incident than the Cardinal situation. It was. I'm just not surprised that it popped up. Hopefully, we can kind of, again, minimize it, do everything we can, to keep it at bay. But that's why we kind of put protocols in place and have a lot of players, to be accessed.
What are you hoping to get out of Tony tonight, and what were the reports on how he looked in this last week at the training site?
Tony's been good. This is where he made his major league debut, so I know he's thrilled. And it's all about, how he performs. So I really don't want to put a number on, but I think that, 3-4 innings is fair.
Who's running the pitching program at the training site?
Donnie Alexander is doing a great job over there. Rob Hill is another guy that's doing a great job. And he and Mark Pryor, Connor McGinnis, they're all kind of talking daily. And we get reports every day. So Clayton McCullough has been over there. I know Andrew has popped in over there to see guys. Brandon Gomes has popped over there, but he's with us now. So it's been really good communication.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Question from Pedro Mora. Go ahead, Pedro.
Hey, Dave. I understand it's extremely difficult to stop the decades-long habits you guys have developed, but would you like to see less high-fiving in the dugout as well, along with the increased mask wearing that you mentioned?
Yeah, I think it's something where, and I'm just as guilty in certain senses as anyone. I'm an emotional guy. I like to give dap to the players, but I've got to be better. We all got to be better. And I think that it's just got to be a more conscious effort by all of us to kind of minimize the touching. And granted, when I high five or fist bump, guys are wearing batting gloves, but it's still, you still got to be mindful of things like that. So it's something that, old habits, we've got to find a way to break, especially in this time.
Thanks.
Question from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead, Bill.
And Dave, the MLB has talked about adding a compliance officer for every team. Have you guys done this, and how do you see his duties fitting into this?
Ron Porterfield is our compliance officer, and I certainly don't believe we would be at this point without Ron's assistance and kind of mindfulness and direction. Yeah, he's everywhere. He's got the respect of everyone, and making sure we take our temperature, fill in all the questionnaire every day. He's keeping the players, coaches, staff all abreast, and he's kind of in tune with all the protocols and regulations.
And just a clerical thing, when you move Josh Spores off the active roster, does he go to your taxi squad? Does he still travel with you? He
actually right now is not on the taxi. We option him, and he's at CBR. And he's going to work out there. And at that point in time, he'll go over to the satellite place at SC.
So you add somebody to the taxi squad for San Diego?
Correct.
Do you know who that is yet?
I don't know if we've done it yet, but I think right now Mitchell White is a candidate.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And one final question from Dave Bassett. Go ahead.
Dave, I just wanted to get your opinion on some of the discussions with the NBA starting up last night. A lot of people were asking, why wouldn't baseball try to do a bubble to begin with? Do you feel like that was realistic? Do you feel having baseball in a bubble is as realistic as the NBA is doing?
I don't. I think that you're talking about, I don't know how many teams they're doing. I know they eliminated teams that were playoff contenders, and you're also talking about a 12, 13-man roster. So the numbers alone just don't speak to kind of containing 30 teams times, 45 players and staff, so that's a big number. So I think that Major League Baseball, along with the Players Association, is doing, the best they can, but every day you learn more. But I still just live in a world where you got to be accountable, and we all have to individually do our own part as well.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks,
All right, guys. Thanks, guys.